the atmosphere behind the scenes at Newcastle United feels completely different right now. You know, when things start happening out of the ordinary. Meetings at unusual hours, non-stop phone calls, and that strange coming and going that no one dares to talk about publicly. Something massive is unfolding, and when hot information starts leaking not just in England, but across Europe, it's a clear sign that something huge is about to explode. And trust me, you've got no idea just how big this is for St. James Park. And listen, if you're that kind of fan who always likes to stay one step ahead, who never wants to be caught by surprise and lives Newcastle intensely, do this right now. Subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to make sure you never miss anything happening behind the scenes at our club. Plus, it massively helps our work to keep bringing you breaking news straight from the top sources like Chronicle Live, Football Insider, and the Italian outlet Il Messaggero, who are following all of this very closely. And if you think this is just some minor rumor, forget it. What's happening right now is absolutely huge. The kind of negotiation so big that it shakes not just the club but the entire Premier League market. And to make things even more interesting, some big names are already being discussed. Players who, not long ago, nobody would have imagined being linked with St. James Park. But yes, Newcastle are in the game. What started as simple whispers behind the scenes has now become headline news across the British and European press. And listen, we're not talking about just any player. We're talking about one of the most famous names in English football, someone with a huge history at Manchester United, and believe me, he's now being strongly linked with Newcastle United in the last few hours. And this is where we dive straight into the story that's left absolutely everyone speechless. According to Football Insider, and also backed by analysis from Chronicle Live, Marcus Rashford, the Manchester United striker, is now on Newcastle United's radar. This information came from former Manchester City financial advisor Stefan Borschen, who claims that Newcastle are one of the very few clubs capable of pulling off this deal, a deal believed to be worth around £20 million, not including of course Rashford's huge wages. According to Borschen, even though it's a complicated deal, it's not impossible. The striker, who currently earns around £325,000 per week, would represent around 11% of Newcastle's entire wage bill. That's massive, mate. It's a bold move, the kind of transfer that, if it happens, completely changes the level of the squad and Newcastle's reputation across Europe. But here's a really important point. Chronicle Live was quick to point out that Newcastle are unlikely to break their strict wage structure, which is considered one of the pillars of the club's current management. In fact, the club have already walked away from other negotiations recently because of high salary demands, just like what happened at the start of this transfer window with Jack Grealish. So, while it's a real possibility, it's something that would require major compromises, especially from Manchester United. And by the way, if you're enjoying this full coverage, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. That way, you'll get all the updates firsthand and you won't miss anything about Newcastle's transfer window, which, trust me, is shaping up to be one of the busiest in years. Plus, your support really helps us keep bringing top quality, reliable information straight from the best sources. But if you think it stops there, you're completely wrong. While the Rashford talks were blowing up, another move started gaining serious momentum behind the scenes, and this time the focus shifts to the defense. According to the Italian outlet Il Messaggero, Newcastle are seriously interested in signing French centre-back Evan Necker, who currently plays for AS Roma. Necker, aged 25, joined Roma from Eintracht Frankfurt last season and quickly became a key player in their defense. But Roma's financial situation is tricky. They've missed out on Champions League football next season and need to raise at least €10 million, around £8 million, by the end of this month. And guess who could take full advantage of this? Exactly, Newcastle. According to Chronicle Live, Necker is seen as an extremely smart market opportunity. He's young, experienced in top leagues and European competitions, and would come for a very affordable price compared to today's crazy market. It's the type of deal that fits perfectly with the Newcastle strategy ever since this new ownership took over. And trust me, mate, Newcastle are far from done. There's still heavy movement going on behind the scenes, not just for a centre-back, but also for reinforcement in other positions. The midfield, for example, is one area that could see new faces in the coming weeks, especially if a significant sale happens, and that's not off the table right now. By the way, if you're someone who hates getting the news late, turn on the notification bell. That way, every time we post a new video, you get the alert straight away and stay on top of everything. And believe me, with the speed things are moving, that bell is going to ring a lot in the coming days. Back to the Rashford case, there's another crucial point. Despite the huge wages, there's heavy internal pressure for the player to leave Manchester United. He's no longer part of the club's main plans. And according to several British reports, both Rashford's camp and the United board know that keeping him at a club where the relationship is already broken is close to impossible. And that's exactly where Newcastle comes in. It's not an easy deal, not cheap by any means, but yes, there is a possible fit if certain conditions are adjusted. Some whispers behind the scenes even suggest that United could agree to cover part of his wages, similar to how other Premier League deals have been structured recently. Now, speaking about Ndika, the situation seems way more straightforward. The player is very keen on playing in the Premier League, and Newcastle looks like a really attractive option both from a sporting and financial perspective. Plus, with Roma under pressure to sell quickly, Newcastle are in a very strong position at the negotiation table, and could even land him for an absolute bargain. And let's be honest, anyone who knows the Premier League knows that having a solid defense is absolutely crucial if you want to fight at the top of the table. And that's exactly what Newcastle are building, a balanced squad, strong in every area, ready not just to compete in the Champions League next season, but also to seriously challenge for the top spots in the Premier League. And trust me, mate, everything that's happening now is just the beginning. This transfer window is going to be long, intense, and full of twists and turns. And you're going to follow every single step of it right here on this channel. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us because, believe me, at any moment, a brand new bombshell could explode at St. James Park.